If you've made it this far, believe me, it's not because of an algorithm. It's an echo of a question you've been whispering in the depths of your being for a long time. Is this it? Is life really just this? That question is not a sign of discontent. It's the first vibration of your true self, knocking at the door. It's proof that a part of you refuses to settle for a reality where you don't feel like the protagonist. You feel a dissonance, don't you? A subtle but constant space between the life you're living and the life you know, with an almost painful certainty that you could be living. You live days that often feel like copies of other days. You follow a script you feel you didn't write. You meet expectations. You play by the rules you were given. But inside, a silent voice asks, "What about me? When does my true story begin?" It's like feeling you have wings, but you're walking in a room with a very low ceiling. The frustration doesn't come from the room, but from the innate knowledge that you were born to fly. In the next few minutes, I won't give you empty answers or magical solutions. My purpose is much greater. I will give you a map and a key. The map will show you the invisible territory where your thoughts become things, where your emotions draw the landscape of your future, and where your attention is the energy that builds it all. And the key doesn't open any external door. It opens your own perception. It will teach you to see beyond the illusion of circumstances, to read the language of the universe, and to dialogue directly with it. We are going to decipher together the code that has always resided within you. A code that, once activated, transforms you. You stop being a leaf carried by the wind and become the wind itself. So take a deep breath. Turn off the noise of the world for a moment so you can finally listen to the symphony inside you. What we will share here requires your presence, not just your attention, but your full intention. This is not just a video. It is an appointment with yourself. It is the beginning of your remembrance. The journey begins now. Okay, you have answered the call. Now the first step on this journey is not forward, but inward. Before we can build a new reality, we must understand the nature of the one we currently inhabit. And for that, we have to turn on the light in a room we have lived in darkness in for most of our lives, the room of our own mind. Have you ever driven home and, upon arriving, realized you don't remember any of the journey? Or have you reacted with anger or sadness to something, and only later asked yourself why it affected you so much? That is autopilot. Scientists tell us that about 95% of our day, our thoughts, our decisions, our emotional reactions, is directed by our subconscious mind. Think of your subconscious as the operating system of an immensely powerful computer, a system that works in the background, managing everything. And in that system, throughout your life, programs have been installed. Programs about money, which you might have learned from your parents. Programs about love, which you absorbed from movies or your first relationships. Programs about your own worth, installed by a casual comment from a teacher or by comparisons with others. These programs are neither good nor bad. They simply are. Their only function is to be efficient, to create shortcuts so you don't have to learn how to walk or talk every morning. But the problem is that many of those programs, the deepest ones, were installed without your conscious permission. They were recorded when you were a child, when your mind was a sponge, and you didn't have a filter to decide what to believe and what not to. And so we go through life, believing we are free, when in reality we are being run by invisible software. We react to the world not as it is, but as our programs dictate it is. We see opportunities or scarcity, not because they are out there, but because that's what we are programmed to see. The first step to waking up, to breaking the illusion, is not to fight these programs. It is not to feel guilty about them. It is simply to realize that they exist. It is to turn on the light. It is to begin observing them without judgment. And that leads us to the most important question you can ask yourself. If I can observe these programs, if I can realize that I am thinking a negative thought or feeling an old wound, then who is the one observing? Think about it for a moment. You have thoughts, thousands of them every day. They come and go like clouds in the sky. You have emotions, which flow and change like the weather. You have a body with its sensations. But you are none of that. You are the observer, the silent consciousness that becomes aware of it all. You are the vast blue sky, and thoughts and emotions are just the clouds passing through you. The clouds can be white and fluffy or gray and stormy, but they can never ever harm the sky. The sky always remains intact, at peace. This is the first great key to your freedom, to separate your identity from the chatter of your mind. Try it right now, just for a moment. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Now simply notice your next thought. Don't judge it, don't analyze it, don't follow it. Just watch it appear, and let it go, like a leaf floating on a river. Who is watching? That is you, the real you, pure consciousness, the silent witness. The more you learn to live from this place, from the observer, the less power the old programs will have over you, because you stop identifying with them. You start to see them for what they are, echoes of the past, old recordings that play themselves. And from that silence, from that space of pure consciousness, you can finally begin to choose differently. You can choose not to get hooked on a thought of fear. You can choose to observe an emotion of sadness without letting it drown you. And from this new position, you are ready to understand the biggest secret about how reality works. Yes, from the moment we are born, we are taught an outside-in model of the world. We are told that the world is something solid, separate from us, and that things happen to us. We react to external events. We are, in essence, victims or beneficiaries of circumstances. But what if I told you that the model works exactly the other way around? That reality operates from the inside out? What if the external world was not the cause, but the effect? Imagine that your being, in its entirety, your thoughts, your beliefs, but above all, your dominant emotions and feelings, emits a vibration, an energetic frequency, as if you were a tuning fork. Each emotion has a unique vibrational signature. Fear vibrates at a very low, dense frequency. Love, gratitude, joy vibrate at very high, fast frequencies. Imagine that the entire universe is a resonant energy field, waiting to respond. The fundamental law of this universe is the law of resonance, or as many like to call it, the law of attraction. And it says something very simple, like attracts like. This means that the universe does not give you what you want. It does not respond to your empty words. The universe gives you a perfect reflection of what you are at a vibrational level. What if the external world was not the cause, but the effect? Imagine that your being, in its entirety, your thoughts, your beliefs, but above all, your dominant emotions and feelings, emits a vibration, an energetic frequency, as if you were a tuning fork. Each emotion has a unique vibrational signature. Fear vibrates at a very low, dense frequency. Love, gratitude, joy vibrate at very high, fast frequencies. Imagine that the entire universe is a resonant energy field, waiting to respond. The fundamental law of this universe is the law of resonance, or as many like to call it, the law of attraction. And it says something very simple, like attracts like. This means that the universe does not give you what you want. It does not respond to your empty words. The universe gives you a perfect reflection of what you are at a vibrational level. Your reality is a mirror. The people you meet, the situations you experience, the opportunities or obstacles that appear on your path. They are not random. They are perfect feedback. They are an echo of the signal you are emitting. If your internal tuning fork constantly vibrates at the frequency of frustration, of lack, of I am not enough, the universe, in its infinite impartiality, will bring you more situations and people that validate and reflect exactly that frustration and lack. Not because it is punishing you, but because that is the law, it's physics. If, on the other hand, you learn to calibrate your internal tuning fork to the frequency of gratitude, of fullness, of trust, the universe has no choice but to start showing you a reflection of that. Grateful people will appear, opportunities will arise out of nowhere, you will feel a flow of well-being. This, right now, is the most important thing you must understand, and it is crucial that you release all guilt. This is not about blaming yourself for the difficult things you have been through. Remember, you have been operating on autopilot. emitting signals from subconscious programs you didn't even know you had. The past was an unconscious transmission. But today everything changes. Because now you have the light on. Now you are conscious. Now you know that you are not your programs. You are the observer. And you understand that your reality is a mirror. You are no longer the victim in the movie of your life. You have realized that you have been sitting in the projector's chair all this time. Your inner world is the movie being projected onto the screen of your three-dimensional reality. And with this awareness, you have regained your power. Because if you don't like the movie you're watching, you already know that trying to change the images on the screen is useless. You cannot change the reflection in the mirror. You have to change the original movie. You have to change the projection. And exactly that is what we are going to learn to do in the next part. You are going to learn to use the code. Now that you know you are the projector and not the screen, the question changes. It is no longer, why is this happening to me? But what movie am I choosing to project? You stop being a thermometer that simply records the temperature of the room to become the thermostat that sets the temperature you desire. Doing this is not an act of magic, it is an act of skill. It's an inner science. And like all science, it is governed by principles. These are the 4 pillars of the code of conscious creation. Master them, and you will master your reality. The first pillar. Clarity is the chisel. The universe, the quantum field, the divine mind, whatever you want to call it, is a field of infinite potential. But it cannot give shape to what is undefined. The universe does not respond to ambiguity. Many of us go through life with vague desires. I want more money. I want to be happy. I want to find love. It's like walking into a restaurant and telling the waiter, I want food. You will receive something, but it probably won't be what you truly craved. Clarity is power. Your clear and focused intention is the chisel with which you sculpt the formless energy of the universe. But a powerful intention is not just about defining the what. It's mostly about connecting with the why. What do you really want? Be specific. Not more money, but the freedom and peace that comes from generating X amount per month, doing something I love. Not to be happy, but to feel a deep joy and gratitude in my daily life, enjoying my health and my relationships. And then, ask yourself, why do I want it? What fundamental emotion am I seeking? Freedom, security, fulfillment, connection. That why is the emotional fuel of your intention. Your task is to formulate a statement of your desire that is clear, positive, and in the present tense, as if it were already a reality. Instead of, I hope to get out of debt, your intention becomes, I am the embodiment of financial freedom. Money flows to me easily and abundantly, and I use it with wisdom and gratitude. Feel the vibrational difference. The first comes from lack, the second from fullness. Think of a sculptor. Before touching the marble, they already see the finished statue in their mind. That crystalline vision guides every blow of the chisel. Your clear intention is that vision. Hold it in your mind without contradictions, without doubts. Make it your North Star. That is the first pillar. The second pillar, the heart, is the magnet. If your clear intention is the arrow, your emotion is the bow that shoots it. You can repeat an affirmation 1,000 times, but if you don't feel it in every cell of your being, it's just an empty thought. Thoughts by themselves are simple electrical impulses in your brain. They are the blueprint. But emotions are energy in motion. They are the magnetic force. They are the builder. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field thousands of times more powerful than the brain's. This field extends around you in the shape of a torus and is the signal you are truly emitting to the quantum field. The universe doesn't respond as much to what you think, but to how you feel. Therefore, the key to manifesting your intention is not to think about it. It is to find the emotional frequency of your desire already fulfilled. And this is where we pause. Because I'm not going to tell you, I'm going to guide you to feel it. Get into a comfortable position. If you can, close your eyes. Bring all your attention to the center of your chest, to your heart. Just observe that space. Now, Start breathing a little slower and deeper than normal. Imagine you are inhaling directly into your heart and exhaling from your heart. Inhale and exhale. Continue this rhythm for a moment. Now I want you to bring a genuine memory to your mind of a time when you felt immense gratitude. Maybe the embrace of a loved one, the beauty of a sunset, the loyalty of a pet, an act of kindness you received. Don't think about gratitude. Feel it. Let that warm emotion flood your chest. Allow it to grow, to expand from your heart into every part of your body. Feel the gratitude in your hands, in your feet, on your face. This sensation, this state is coherence. It is the perfect alignment between your heart and your brain. It is the most powerful energetic signature you can emit. It is the vibration of receiving. Now from this state of gratitude, bring that clear intention you defined to your mind. Don't wish for it. Don't long for it. Simply combine it with the emotion you are already feeling. Feel gratitude because your desire is already a reality. Feel the thanks for that abundance you already possess. Feel the gratitude for that love that already fills your life. Feel the gratitude for that perfect health you already enjoy. Hold this feeling for one more moment. This is the creative state. This is the language the universe understands. You can open your eyes. Practicing this state daily, even for 5 minutes, calibrates your internal tuning fork. It turns your heart into an irresistible magnet for the reality you have chosen. The third pillar, the mind, is the projector. Once you have the heart's engine on and vibrating at the right frequency, it's time to give it a clear direction and a vivid image with the mind. This is visualization, but not as you've been told. It's not about seeing a passive mental image as if you were looking at a photo. It's about a complete sensory immersion. It's about embodying the future reality. Your brain and nervous system don't distinguish between a real experience and an experience you vividly imagine. For them, it's the same thing. When you allow yourself to feel a future experience as if it were happening now, your brain begins to create new neural connections, and your body begins to produce the chemistry of that new reality. You are literally becoming the person who already has what you desire at a biological level. When you visualize, don't do it in the third person. Enter the scene. See it through your own eyes. If your desire is a new house, don't see yourself walking through it. Feel your bare feet on the hardwood floor. Smell the coffee brewing in the kitchen. Hear the laughter of your loved ones in the other room. Feel the texture of the sofa under your hands. And above all, feel the emotion in your body. The peace, the security, the pride, the joy of being in your home. If your desire is a healthy relationship, feel that person's hand in yours. Hear their voice. Feel the warmth of their embrace. Feel the peace and confidence of being with someone who sees and loves you just as you are. The key is embodiment. Feel the future reality so completely that you forget your current reality. By doing this, you are transmitting a coherent and powerful electromagnetic signal to the universe. You are no longer asking from a place of lack. You are emitting from a place of fullness, declaring that this is your new truth. And the mirror of reality, by law, must begin to reflect that new truth. The fourth pillar, the universe is the ally. This is the most subtle and often the most difficult pillar for our controlling mind to master. It is the art of inspired action and divine detachment. Once you have defined your intention, charged it with the emotion of the heart, and embodied it with your mind, your main work is done. You have sent the order to the cosmic restaurant. Now you must trust that the chef, the universe, knows exactly how to prepare your dish. This is where many fail. They start to doubt, to worry about the how and the when. They try to force things. This is called forced action. It comes from the ego, from fear, and from mistrust. It feels like swimming against the current. It's exhausting and creates resistance. Your true task is to maintain your vibrational state and be attentive to inspired action. Inspired action is different. It doesn't feel like effort, but like an impulse. It's that sudden idea that comes to you in the shower. It's the spontaneous urge to call an old friend. It's stumbling upon a book or seeing an ad that seems to speak directly to you. It's a whisper, not a shout. It feels light, expansive, almost obvious. Learn to follow these impulses without questioning them too much. They are the universe showing you the next step on the path. And along with inspired action comes the most liberating part: detachment. You must be completely committed to your vision, but totally detached from the form and timing of its manifestation. The universe has a big picture you don't have. Perhaps the path it has charted for you is 1,000 times better and more ingenious than the one your limited mind could conceive. Attaching yourself to a specific result is like telling the GPS it can only take you down one street. By letting go of control over the how, you give the universe infinite streets to deliver your desire in the fastest and most harmonious way possible. Trust, release, allow. Clarity in intention, power in emotion, embodiment in the mind, and trust in the process. These are the 4 pillars. They are not steps you take once. They are a new mode of being. They are the language with which you dialogue with reality. Now, knowing this is one thing, living it is another entirely. And that's why, in our next part, we're going to talk about how to integrate this code into the fabric of your daily life. There is a well-known phrase that says, "Knowing the path is not the same as walking the path," and it is a universal truth. The 3 previous parts of our journey have been about designing the map. We have drawn the territory, marked the destination, and understood the laws that govern it. You hold in your hands the architectural blueprint for a new life. But a blueprint, no matter how perfect, provides no shelter. You can't live in an idea. You have to build the house, brick by brick, foundation by foundation. And this part of our journey, integration, is precisely that. It is the process of turning philosophy into physiology, information into lived experience. I'll be honest with you, this is where most people stop. They are amazed by the blueprint, feel a wave of inspiration, and then, little by little, the inertia of daily life drags them back to their old patterns. The gap between inspiration and integration is the graveyard of unfulfilled dreams. But you are not going to be one of them, because now you are going to receive the practical tools, the daily routine, and the mental strategy to build that bridge and cross it every day until the new way of being becomes your natural state. This is where we go from knowing to being. Your morning creation ritual, the day's helm. Imagine your day as a large ship. The way you spend the first 20 or 30 minutes of your morning is the moment you place your hands on the helm and set the course for the entire day's journey. If the first thing you do, even before setting foot on the floor, is grab your phone, you are handing over the helm. Immediately, your brain is flooded with a torrent of external information, work emails, news, almost always negative, the seemingly perfect lives of others on social media. This triggers a stress reaction, a spike in cortisol. Your mind goes into reactive mode. You start your day on the defensive, responding to others' agendas, and your energy instantly connects to the collective vibration, a mix of hurry, lack, and anxiety. You have given up your power before even having your first coffee. A conscious creator understands that the first victory of the day is the victory over oneself, over one's own mind and state. To do this, it is essential to use biology to your advantage. Right when you wake up, your brain is in a state of brainwaves known as alpha, and sometimes even theta. It's the twilight state between sleep and wakefulness. In this state, the veil between the conscious and subconscious mind is incredibly thin. Your mind is open, receptive, and highly programmable. It is the most fertile ground to plant the seeds of the reality you wish to create. Wasting this moment is a strategic mistake. Reclaiming it is the most significant act of power you can perform. That's why your morning ritual is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is your daily training as the architect of your reality. It consists of 3 fundamental steps. The first step, about 5 to 10 minutes, is silence and presence. First, sit comfortably on your bed or in a chair. The key is to resist the urge to do something and instead, simply be. Close your eyes. Your only task is to become the observer. Bring your attention to your breath, feeling the air enter and exit your body. Don't try to stop your thoughts. That's impossible. Simply watch them pass, like clouds in the sky of your consciousness. When you notice you have drifted off with a thought, without judging yourself, simply name it, thinking, and gently return your attention to your breath. This is not a passive act. It is an act of mental detoxification. You are cleaning the canvas of your mind of the residue of dreams and the worries of the previous day. You are reclaiming your mental sovereignty. You are declaring to the universe, before I connect with you, I connect with myself. The second step, about 5 minutes, is emotional calibration. Now that your mind is calm, it's time to turn on your heart's magnet. Place one or both hands on your chest, at the center of your energy. Breathe deeply into this space, as if your lungs were in your heart. Your mission now is to deliberately generate an elevated emotion. Gratitude is the most direct portal. Search your life's archive. The face of a child, the memory of an act of love, the beauty of nature, the loyalty of a pet, the simple fact that your heart beats and your lungs breathe without you having to do anything. If you find it hard to feel gratitude, seek appreciation. If you find appreciation difficult, seek calm. Find the emotion that elevates you, even a little, and stay there. Immerse yourself in it. Let that feeling expand from your heart throughout your body, as if you were dyeing the water of your being with a vibrant, warm color. This is much more than positive thinking. You are tuning your electromagnetic field. You are choosing your vibrational note for the day. You are saying to the mirror of reality, this is the frequency from which I will operate today. Please reflect this to me. The third step, about 5 to 10 minutes, is intention and embodiment. With your heart's engine already on, it's time to give it a direction. Bring your most important intention to your mind. Then, instead of visualizing it as something distant, you are going to rehearse your future. You are going to remember your future. Close your eyes and live, through your own eyes, 1 or 2 key scenes from the end of your day. Feel the deep satisfaction of closing your computer after an incredibly productive and fluid workday. Feel the joy of dinner with your family, full of laughter and connection. Feel the relief and peace of going to bed thinking, what a wonderful day. Everything turned out better than I could have imagined. Saturate these scenes with the elevated emotion you cultivated in the previous step. By doing this, you are programming your mind and body for a successful conclusion. You are sending an electromagnetic signal to the quantum field that says, the day has already been a success. Now I'm just going to live the steps that lead me to it. Silence, calibration, and intention. Repeat this process every morning. No excuses. It's your most important job. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about doing it. This daily practice will transform you from a reactive being into a proactive creator. Navigating resistance, the guardian of the old self. When you begin this work, you are declaring a peaceful revolution against your old way of being. And no revolution happens without resistance. You must be prepared for it. In fact, you should welcome it, because its appearance is unequivocal proof that you are moving forward. Resistance is the immune system of your ego. Its job is to protect the identity it knows, the familiar I, even if that self is unhappy or limited. When you start to introduce a new thought, a new feeling, a new state of being, the ego's immune system sees it as a virus and launches an attack to neutralize it. This resistance manifests in many forms. It's the voice in your head that says, this is nonsense, it won't work. It's the sudden laziness or sleepiness you feel just when you are about to sit down to do your ritual. It's procrastination, the urgent need to check email or clean the kitchen. It's the doubts that assail you at midday when something doesn't go as you expected. It's impatience, frustration, fear. To navigate this force, you cannot use force. Fighting your mind is a battle you will always lose, because you use the mind to fight the mind. Instead, you use consciousness. Here is a 3-step strategy, a martial art for your inner world. The first step is to recognize and allow. When you feel the wave of doubt or fear, your first instinct, programmed for survival, is to resist it or run away from it. You must do the opposite. Pause, breathe, and simply recognize its presence as a neutral observer. Name it. Ah, here is doubt. I notice a strong feeling of impatience in my chest. You are not the sensation. You are the consciousness that notices it. By recognizing it and allowing it to be there without fighting, you take away its fuel. It's like opening the door to a monster that is knocking. By not finding resistance, it loses its balance and much of its power. The second step is to relabel with understanding. Now that you have recognized it, change the label you give it. Instead of my fear or my doubt, which personalizes it and makes it yours, you relabel it as the energy of fear or a doubt program. Understand its origin. It is not a truth about you or your future. It is an echo of the past. It is a neural network that fires out of habit. It is your body's chemical addiction to a familiar emotion. Say to it internally, I understand what you are. You are an outdated protection program. Thank you for trying to keep me safe in the familiar, but your service is no longer necessary. This creates a psychological separation and returns you to your position of power as the observer. The third step is to redirect with intention. Once you have deactivated the threat, don't stay there. Consciously redirect your focus. You have an arsenal of tools for this. One of the most powerful is the heart anchor. Simply place your hand on your chest, breathe, and recall the feeling of gratitude from your morning ritual. It's like forcibly changing the radio station. Another tool is the power question. Ask yourself, what would the future me, who has already achieved everything I desire, do or think right now? This takes you out of the problem and puts you in the energy of the solution. Another is the physical pattern. Interrupt, get up, stretch, put on a song that empowers you, and move for a minute. Sometimes, changing your physiology is the fastest way to change your psychology. Recognize, relabel, and redirect. This is not a suppression technique. It is an art of transformation. With practice, you become an alchemist of your own emotions, capable of transmuting the lead of fear into the gold of conscious presence. The language of synchronicities. The universe's wink. As you become more adept at maintaining your inner state, regardless of external circumstances, the universe will begin to speak to you. The mirror of reality, which previously reflected your struggles and doubts, will begin to return glimpses of your new vibration. We call this synchronicity, and it is the universe's language for telling you that you are aligned. This can be explained both mystically and scientifically. In your brain, you have something called the reticular activation system. It's a filter that allows you to perceive what you focus on. When you buy a car of a specific color, you suddenly start seeing that car everywhere. It's not that there are more cars, it's that your brain is now programmed to look for them. In the same way, when you focus on abundance, gratitude, and your future vision, you program your brain to detect anything in your environment that matches that frequency. These signs can come in many forms. Repeated numbers are a classic, seeing 1111, 222, 333. But there's much more. It's thinking of someone and having them call you instantly. It's having a question and the answer appearing on a billboard. It's overhearing strangers in a cafe having the exact conversation you needed to hear. It's a book falling off a shelf open to the perfect page. It's the recurring themes that appear in the movies you watch or the songs you listen to. The key here is how you interact with these synchronicities. It's not about becoming superstitious or searching for hidden meanings in everything. The best way to respond is with the simplicity of a child. First, notice it. Simply become aware. Second, smile. Acknowledge it for what it is, a cosmic wink. Third, feel a pulse of gratitude. Say thank you internally. It is a confirmation. And fourth, let it go. Don't cling to it or overanalyze it. Simply use it as fuel for your faith. Allow each synchronicity to be one more brick in the building of your unshakable confidence that you are not alone, that your intentions have been heard, and that an intelligence much greater than you is orchestrating events in your favor. The integration of this code is, therefore, a three-step dance that is repeated daily. Set your course each morning, navigate resistance with awareness during the day, and recognize the supportive winks from the universe along the way. This is not something you do, it is the person you become. Please take a moment and feel the person you were when you pressed play. Feel their doubts, their longing, their impatience, their hope. And now, feel yourself, at this very moment. Something has changed, hasn't it? Perhaps it's not a drastic visible change. It's something more subtle, more profound. A seed has been planted. A light has been turned on in an inner room that you might not have known existed. The knowledge you have received is not just a collection of interesting ideas for your mind. It is a living code that has been reintroduced into your consciousness. You can no longer not know what you now know. You can no longer believe with full conviction that you are a victim of circumstances. Because you have remembered that you are the silent observer behind it all. You can no longer entirely blame the external world for how you feel. Because you have remembered that your heart is a magnet, and that you have the power to calibrate your own frequency from within. You can no longer see your thoughts as absolute truths, because you have learned to see them as tools, as the chisel and projector you use to sculpt and color your reality. The person who started this video was looking for answers outside. The person you are now is beginning to remember that the question and the answer have always resided within. This is the graduation of your old self. This is the beginning of your remembrance. Let's talk about mastery. It is important that you understand this. Mastery is not perfection. Mastery does not mean you will never have a negative thought again. It doesn't mean you will never feel fear or doubt again. We are human, and the experience of contrast is part of our growth. True mastery is measured by the recovery time. A bad moment might have ruined your entire day or even the week. You would fall into an emotional well and not know how to get out. Mastery is realizing you have fallen, and instead of digging deeper, you breathe. Activate your tools. Recognize yourself as the observer. Put your hand on your heart and consciously choose to return to your center. Mastery is the speed with which you remember who you are when the world tries to convince you that you are someone limited. So be kind to yourself on this path. Celebrate small victories. Forgive yourself quickly. Every time you successfully navigate resistance, every time you choose gratitude over complaint, every time you dedicate 15 minutes to your morning ritual, you are forging new neural connections. You are, literally, rebuilding your being. This is not an event. It is a process. It is not a goal. It is a new way of life. And this new life has a purpose that goes far beyond your own happiness and well-being. The domino effect. When you change your inner world, you inevitably change the outer world. And I'm not just talking about the circumstances you attract. I'm talking about the impact you have on every person you cross paths with. You become what I call a living tuning fork. When you learn to maintain a state of inner peace in the midst of chaos, that peace radiates from you. People around you will feel it, even if they don't know why. Your calm presence can pacify an argument without you saying a single word. Your peace is not just yours, it becomes a gift to the world. When you learn to live in a state of abundance and gratitude, you show others what is possible. Your success doesn't take anything away from anyone. On the contrary, it expands the consciousness of what can be achieved. You give others permission to dream bigger and to reclaim their own power. Your abundance is not just yours, it becomes inspiration for the world. When you learn to love and accept yourself unconditionally, you stop needing validation from others. This frees people from the burden of having to make you happy. Your self-love becomes a beacon that silently guides others to find love within themselves. Your love is not just yours, it becomes liberation for the world. Do not underestimate the power of your own transformation. By healing yourself, you offer healing to the collective. By raising your own frequency, you contribute to raising the vibration of the entire planet. Your personal journey is, and always has been, an act of universal service. And so we come to the end of our time together, but to the true beginning of your path. The code we have talked about, the key, the map, were never really in this video. They have always been written in the silent language of your soul, waiting to be remembered. My only job has been to hold a mirror in front of you so you could see a glimpse of your own magnificence. The mirror is withdrawn, and you are left. You, with your recovered power. You, with your awakened consciousness. You, with the tools to sculpt the days of your life. No longer look to the sky for answers. Look in the mirror. No longer wait for a miracle. Become one. The universe is not above you, judging you. It is within you, flowing through you, and responding to every one of your signals. It is waiting for your blueprints. It is waiting for your orders. So take one last deep breath. Feel the power that resides in your chest. Feel the infinite possibility that awaits in this very moment. Now go and create an absolute work of art with your life.